Western Mass News is your school authority. Many local school districts are facing staffing challenges and will open their doors to students with several positions still left unfilled.
We're getting answers on how teachers and districts are working to overcome the nationwide issue.
Our administrative team has interviewed like crazy over the summer.
At the start of the summer, Westfield Public Schools had 30 open teaching positions. They've only filled half of them.
We had enough openings that everybody at the beginning of the summer knew that interviewing was going to be a full court press in order to get bodies in classrooms.
Lori Linkoski, president of the Westfield Education Association, is trying to fill her own position, sixth grade STEM teacher, as she moves to a new role. COVID funding allowed Westfield Intermediate School to add 4 math interventionists. The positions were filled by existing teachers, including Linkoski.
Those are gaping holes right away. When you know that you have a small pool to start with, and now you have one school that has 4 openings, that's huge.
She says if the district can't find a STEM teacher to fill the role, she's willing to go back to the classroom.
I would go. It's what we do in order to make sure that our team is functioning and is fully ready, full capacity for the first day of school.
She's not the only teacher impacted by shortages this year. It's a nationwide problem fueled by an exodus of educators over the pandemic. A June survey by the American Federation of Teachers found 74% of teachers were dissatisfied with the job, up from 41% in 2020. 40% say they'd probably leave the profession in the next 2 years.
People could have easily become overwhelmed. And so I think that added to the layers of why people might have left the profession. I don't think it was the only thing that caused it.
Springfield Public Schools website lists more than 100 job openings in the past month alone. Superintendent Daniel Warwick wouldn't say how many vacancies there are, but says in a statement to Western Mass News, quote, "At this time, we do not expect a debilitating shortage of teachers as we open our doors this fall." The Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents doesn't track this data, but says while they're hearing of some teacher shortages, quote, "The bigger issue seems to be teacher assistants, paraprofessionals, and other staff positions." That's the case in West Springfield, which still has job listings for at least 5 paraprofessionals.
The biggest challenge we're facing is the paraprofessional, the non-certified staff who are integrally important to serving and meeting the needs of our students in the classroom.
Linkoski, a former para herself, says these roles are fundamental. There are still 30 open para positions in Westfield.
If we don't have support personnel, our districts don't run. So what does that mean? That means that everybody is going to be working harder and faster than they ever had.
Chicopee Public Schools is, quote, "still looking to hire several different positions across the district, especially special education." There are more than a dozen job listings for special education teachers on Chicopee's website. Districts across the board cite recruitment as an obstacle.
It's always a challenge to try and get them in the door when Springfield and Agawam and all the other districts are also looking.
Linkoski, who sits on an interview committee, says they're vying for candidates who are also applying to other schools within the district and across Western Mass.
The pool's shallow when you start thinking about how many positions and how many districts we're up against.
Despite all this, she says teachers are excited to start a fresh year with students' needs at the forefront.
We want people to feel welcome when they come into our classrooms. We want our bulletin boards done. We want everything to be ready for the kids because that's who this is for.